thank you for sticking around. It's a pretty intense film. So I'm going to ask a few questions, and then we should have someone with a mic, or we will have someone with a mic, who will be here to go around and take your questions. But I'll start off the conversation. So, Director Lee, honestly, besides seeing your film, I know very little about you. I know that you studied film and television in, what was the name of the school? Southern Kyungkwon University. Oh, I got it right. And then you went to the prestigious Korean Film Academy where you studied directing. So I know you were set on becoming a filmmaker. That's what I'm assuming. So I'm going to get existential. When did you realize you wanted to be a filmmaker and why?
계속 이제 영화 전공을 하신 걸로 알고 있는데 이제 언제 영화를 만들어야겠다고 생각을 했고 왜 그렇게 생각을 하셨는지.
일단 아버지가 비슷한 일을 하셨어가지고 너무 어렸을 때부터 집에 그냥 영화가 너무 많이 있어서 너무 자연스럽게 좀 시작하게 된 것 같아요. 근데 보면서 그런 일을 하고 싶진 않았는데 어느 순간 정신 차려보니까 하고 있었던. 네.
So my father is in the film industry, and so I grew up around film, and I don't know if I had a distinct moment of oh, I'm going to start making films, but I think once I knew where I was making films.
Right, so you made some short films, I believe, and I'm curious, you made, I don't know, three or four, I'm not sure, and you made one that was before this called Ant Hill? Okay, so have you seen them? Are they similar in style? Are they similar in tone? Or completely different so far?
감독님의 단편 작품들도 몇 개 있다는 걸로 알고 있는데 이제 이 작품과 이제 단편들 간에 이제 어떤 비슷한 점이 있다고 생각하시는지 아니면 완전히 다른 어떤 결을 가진 작품이라고 생각을 하시는지.
모든 단편부터 장편까지 전부 다 되게 비슷하다고 생각하는데 좀 단순하게 말하면 다 되게 어두운 이야기였고 근데 그게 어쨌든 제가 뭔가 인간의 되게 바닥에 있는 욕망을 들여다보고 싶어 항상 이런 생각으로 단편도 그리고 이번 작품도 만들었던 것 같아요.
I think there was definitely similarities between my short films and this feature film. To simplify the similarity, I would say a lot of them are darker in nature. I think I really like to reveal the darkest and deepermost desires of human beings, and I think that is present in my short films and my feature films.
So when you say darker, you mean you're generally darker, not that your short films are darker than this feature.
그냥 이제 전반적으로 더 이제 어두운 느낌이 있다는 거죠. 이게 이제 단편에 비해서 이 장편이 더 어둡다는 건지.
전체적으로 비슷하다.
No, I'm saying that generally most of my films, my short films and this feature film are darker in nature.
So the Korean title directly translates to vinyl house, and we've seen these, if you've seen enough Korean films, you've seen these greenhouses that are vinyl. Burning is a great example of that in Chandong. So that's the title character, because it really is a character in the film. Did this idea start from that so-called character, or did it develop and then develop around that, or did it develop somewhere else and then that came in? How did the whole story come together?
네, 이 비닐하우스도 어떻게 보면 하나의 캐릭터처럼 느껴지는데 이제 이 영화를 구상하실 때 그 비닐하우스에서부터 시작해서 이제 모든 것이 이제 그거를 중심으로 이렇게 이루어졌는지 아니면은 비닐하우스는 또 나중에 들어오거나 어떤 식으로 이제 이 모든 것들이 함께 이루어졌는지.
비닐하우스는 나중에 들어온 게 맞고요. 뭔가 이야기랑 캐릭터가 먼저였고 비닐하우스는 나중이었는데 한국에서는 비닐하우스에 거주하는 그 문화라고 해야 될까요? 그게 되게 많이 있어서 하지만 그리 넉넉한 풍요로운 그런 시스템의 집은 아니지만 종종 그렇게 사시는 분들이 지금도 많이 계셔서 어쨌든 이 문정이라는 캐릭터를 그런 곳에서 좀 벗어나고 싶은 캐릭터로 만들어야겠다 하면서 비닐하우스를 생각했습니다.
So the greenhouse motif came later. The story and the characters came first for me. Living in greenhouses is a thing in Korea, though, as you've seen in the film, people who live in greenhouses, they usually lack resources, or sometimes they're not as well off than other people. So I thought that it would be interesting to have Moonjong as a person who was living in a greenhouse but wanted to escape from that living situation.
There's a lot of complexities, and there's a lot of issues being covered in the script. There's the lead character's mental issues. There's the couple that she takes care of. There's caretaking as a thing. There is the support group. It's a lot of things to discuss. First question is, how did you do your research? And then the second question is, how did all these aspects and elements come together to form your story?
굉장히 어떤 사회적 이슈가 많이 느껴지거든요. 그래서 정신질환 이슈도 있고 돌봄의 이슈도 있고 이제 여러 가지가 있는데 어떤 리서치를 영화 제작 과정에서 어떤 리서치를 진행하셨고 또 이 리서치 과정에서 발견한 요소들이 어떻게 이제 이 영화에 나타나게 됐는지.
일단 한국은 지금 엄청나게 고령화 사회고 노인 인구가 되게 많기 때문에 이게 좀 특정 인물이 아니라 모두의 문제라고 생각을 하면서 그런 부분들을 좀 찾아봤었고 그 돌봄을 하는 과정에서 어려움을 겪어서 이제 살인을 하고 그 다음에 자살을 하고 이런 이슈가 생각보다 굉장히 많이 있었고 그래서 그게 좀 특별한 일이 사실 아니었다고 생각을 지금도 하는데 한국에서는 뭐 노인 돌봄이라거나 아니면 뭐 장애 아동 돌봄이라거나 가족들끼리 그렇게 살인을 하고 자살하고 이런 이슈가 너무너무 많이 있어서 그런 문제들을 좀 찾아봤던 것 같습니다.
You may know already, but Korea, as a very rapidly aging society, these were things that were really, there was a lot of research and resources that I was able to tap into, especially with the research on aging society. I looked into a lot of research on what the statistics were in Korea. With caretaking, I know it sounds as if, murdering the person you're caretaking and taking your own life, it sounds so extreme and like a rare situation. But it's surprising that when I really did start doing my research, this, at least in Korea, this is not so rare. There are lots of incidents where this happens in cases of disability, in cases of aging elderly people, and so it was surprising to find that in the research.
So we do have a microphone out here, right? So I'm going to ask one more question, then we'll take it to the audience. So one thing that really struck me is that all your characters, and again we have a complex cast of characters, they're all in society abject, they're sort of marginalized, they're scorned upon, but we see the other side from the director's point of view, that they are all human. And I'm wondering how you're able to balance your own empathy towards your characters while showing all these terrible, dark things.
캐릭터들이 이제 소외계층이 이제 대부분인데 그럼에도 불구하고 감독님의 시선에서는 그들이 가진 어떤 인간적인 욕망도 굉장히 잘 드러나는 것 같은데 어떻게 하면은 이런 캐릭터들에 대한 공감과 그 동시에 이제 그 이면의 어떤 잔인한 어떤 사회의 어떤 잔혹함 또는 잔인함을 둘 다 밸런스를 하면서 만드시는지.
저는 한국에서 이 영화가 처음에 이제 영화제에서 공개됐을 때 왜 이렇게 사회적 약자들만 모아놓고 대상화를 했냐는 질문도 받았고 그게 불편할 수도 있다고도 생각을 했는데 저는 사실 그 질문을 듣고 그때 생각을 했어요. 아, 이게 이제 대중들이 봤을 때 모두가 사회적 약자구나. 그때 좀 알았고 그래서 저는 오히려 그냥 눈 뜨고 주변만 봐도 있는 되게 자연스러운 사람들이라고 생각을 해서 그렇게 캐릭터들을 만들었고 처음부터 뭔가 약자들로 진행을 해야지라는 생각을 한 적은 없습니다. 그리고 네.
So someone did ask me this in a screening at a film festival in Korea. They were asking me why are all the characters in your film, marginalized people? And I think that's when I realized that, people think of these people as marginalized people. I think the way I approached it was, I feel like I see these people near me in my everyday life. They're not so far from me that I think than how some people think they are. And so I think my first approach was to not approach them as, quote, marginalized people.
Fascinating. So do you have a question? Please raise. Do we have any hands up? Okay, here we go.
Thank you. Well done. Profound. Gripping. Definitely I'll be thinking about it tonight and probably tomorrow. And I have 2 questions. Did you want to translate that first? I'm sorry.
일단 너무 잘 봤고요. 굉장히 심도 있고 오늘 밤도 내일 밤도 계속 생각나게 될 작품이어서 너무 잘 봤고요. 네.
So the first question I have is where was the location? Where was it filmed in Korea? And the second question is regarding it sounds like the idea was yours. Did you write the screenplay or did somebody else write it? And if somebody else, it sounds like it was your idea. Okay, so that answers that. So did you write the actual screenplay or did you have a screenwriter? And where can we find more of your work?
네, 두 질문 두 가지인데요. 첫 번째는 촬영을 한국 어디서 촬영했는지, 그리고 두 번째 질문은 스스로 아이디어를 이제 내신 것 같은데 이 영화 대본도 스스로 쓰셨는지, 그리고 감독님의 다른 작품은 또 어디서 혹시 볼 수 있는지.
일단 비닐하우스가 나오는 동네는 한국의 그 경기도의 화성이라는 곳에서 촬영을 했고요.
So where you see the greenhouse, that was in Gyeonggi province in Korea, in a little city called Hwasong.
이 이야기를 각본을 제가 쓴 것이 맞고 사실은 저희 어머니가 저희 외할머니가 치매가 걸리셨을 때 저희 집에서 이제 돌아가시기 전에 돌보셨던 그 시간이 있었는데 제가 아주 가까이서 그 관계를 좀 내밀하게 지켜볼 수 있었던 경험이 있었어요. 근데 어머니가 막 되게 오랜 동안 여기저기서 막 봉사활동도 하시고 막 사람들 돕고 만나고 하는 걸 좋아하시는 분인데 이제 정작 자신의 어머니를 돌보게 된 상황에서는 굉장히 힘들어하시는 모습이 있고 해서 처음 시작은 그 모녀 관계를 보면서 이 이야기를 시작했습니다.
So I wrote the screenplay myself, and the idea, the seed for the idea for this film actually comes from observing the relationship of my mother and my maternal grandmother. At the time, my grandmother had dementia, and my mother was caring for her, and it was really interesting to watch because my mother, she loves doing volunteer work and helping others, but when it came to taking care of her own mother, I realized that she was having a very difficult time, and so the seed for the film comes from that relationship between a mother and daughter.
제가 이 영화는 첫 장편 영화이고 그 전에는 단편 영화를 한 3작품 정도 만들었는데 재미없어서 안 보셔도 될 것 같고 제가 조금 더 열심히 해서 빨리 다음 영화로 좀 찾아뵐 수 있기를 생각하겠습니다.
So, as you may know, this is my first feature film, so I have about 3 short films under my belt, but I feel like they're no fun, so you shouldn't bother to watch. But I will say, I do, hearing your comment, I would really want to work hard on my next feature, and so hopefully I can come back with another feature to share with you all.
Great. I think we have time for a few more questions. Do we have any more hands? Here we go.
Thank you. Congratulations, great movie.
축하드려요.
I have 2 questions, one regarding the editing of the movie and the other one regarding the reception of the film in South Korea. The editing, and I understand you did the editing yourself, which is a curious decision because most filmmakers, most directors would rather someone else edit their movies. But I also noticed a pattern in the editing of the scenes. Most of the scenes starts very slow and then end abruptly. And I was wondering whether you did that, something was by design basically. And the second question was about the reception of the film and whether it was a popular movie because obviously it's a very dark movie and is that a good reflection of maybe the life in South Korea?
네, 2가지 질문인데요. 첫 번째는 편집에 대한 질문인데 제가 봤을 때는 뭔가 그 약간 편집의 패턴이 좀 있었던 것 같은데 뭔가 장면이 천천히 시작하다가 뭔가 갑자기 이제 끝나버리는 듯한 그런 편집이 있었던 것 같은데 특별히 의도하고 그런 식으로 편집을 하신 건지 그리고 2번째 질문은 한국에서의 관객 반응이 어땠는지 아무래도 이제 어두운 영화다 보니까 이제 한국에서의 인기나 이제 특별한 반응이 있었는지.
의도를 하고 그 편집 테크닉을 생각을 한 건 아니지만 뭔가 관객분들이 준비가 안 된 상태에서 컷이 됐을 때 그 뒤에를 좀 상상을 하시면서 컷이 완성되기를 원하는 생각이 좀 있었던 것 같고요.
I don't think the editing was like consciously intentional for me, but I will say I think the effect that I wanted to achieve was when a scene ends abruptly and the viewer is unprepared for that kind of ending of a scene, for their imagination to complete that shot or sequence, if that makes sense. That's kind of the feeling that I was trying to achieve.
그리고 이 영화가 어떤 분들한테는 그냥 좀 재밌게 볼 수 있는 스릴러 장르고 어떤 분들한테는 굉장히 힘들고 괴로운 영화고 그럴 수 있을 만큼 호불호가 엄청 심한 영화가 될 수밖에 없었을 거라고 예상은 했는데 한국에서는 생각보다 힘들어하시는 분들이 많이 계셨고 근데 저는 오히려 힘들어하시는 지점이 조금 좋았어요. 사실 뭐 괴롭혔다면 죄송한 거지만 저는 좀 영화가 끝나고도 한참 동안 좀 붙잡고 있었으면 좋겠다 이 영화가 누군가를 이런 생각을 했기 때문에 그 감정이 뭐 괴로움이라도 붙잡고 있었던 거면 좋은 거라고 생각을 했습니다.
And in response to your question about the audience response, I think, it depends on like how you see the film, right? Like some viewers might view it as a thriller, some might view it as a really dark and emotionally difficult film. And because of that, even before I had viewers watch it, I kind of felt that it would either be something that people would love or hate. But I think once I saw that the response, people I think were really having an emotionally difficult time. Like I think they really felt the emotional gravity of the film. But I do feel like in that sense, it's a movie that hopefully keeps on sort of being in your mind for days to come. And I'm sorry if that caused like too much suffering, but I feel that even if that feeling that you have is of emotional, strife and suffering, if it's something that keeps in your mind for days to come, I feel like I've done my job.
I think we have time for one more question from the audience. Looks like we have a hand up over here. Here, is that right? Okay, thank you.
I was very struck by the lead actress, and I really appreciated the timing of the intimate timing in viewing. Well, I just felt I could really read internally the characters very deeply and thoroughly. That was very gripping to me. I really appreciate your work. It was wonderful.
질문이라기보다는 코멘트인 것 같은데요. 일단 주연 배우 김사영 배우님이 너무너무 인상적으로 잘 봤다고 그러시고 인물 하나하나의 어떤 그 시간적인 그 타이밍도 굉장히 너무 잘 봤다고 하거든요. 그 어떤 내면의 각각의 캐릭터의 어떤 내면에 일어나는 그런 어떤 내면적인 감정, 이제 과정이나 그런 걸 굉장히 여실히 잘 드러내 보인 것 같아서 정말 너무너무 잘 봤다고 합니다.
And actually, springboarding off your comment, I did want to ask you about the casting because she's quite an actress. She's an established actress, and how you came to work with her. Can you say the name of the actress? It's Yo. Oh, okay. Kim Seong-hyun.
일단 김사영 배우님은 한국에서 굉장히 스타시고 이제 제가 만나기는 좀 불가능했던 분이고 영화는 굉장히 저예산의 작은 영화 프로젝트였기 때문에 사실은 좀 말도 안 되는 정말 운이 좋은 기회를 얻어서 같이 작업을 하게 된 건데 이제 너무 감사하게도 시나리오 보시고 너무 하고 싶어 하셨고 그리고 많이 힘들어 하셨어요. 시나리오 보시고 많이 힘들어 하셔서 그래서 더 하고 싶다라고 하시면서 같이 작업을 하게 됐습니다.
So yes, the lead actress Kim So-hyun she is a star in Korea. She is a very well established actor. I would say it was an impossible choice at first because our film was a very low budget film and I thought it would be impossible to even get her, and so we were very, very lucky to even have her for our lead actress. She read my script first and she told me that she really, really wanted to be a part of it. And she told me that the process of reading the script for herself was such an emotionally grueling process, but that's why she really wanted to participate in the project, and so that's how that came about.
Great. This is the last question. It's 2 parts, but it's brief. Please tell us I'm sure you're working on. You might be working on multiple projects. Please tell us what your next project is, as much as you'd like to tell us. And the second part is, do you ever see yourself directing a comedy?
네, 그 차기작 뭐 계획이 있으시면은 부탁드리고 말씀하실 수 있는 만큼 부탁드리고 혹시 이제 코미디를 연출하실 뭐 그런 가능성이 있다고 보시는지.
네, 코미디. 제가 사실은 이 영화 시나리오 때부터 이제 완성이 될 때까지 저뿐만 아니라 저와 뭐 배우 스태프들이 굉장히 당연히 좀 감정이 이렇게 내려앉아 있을 수밖에 없었고 그래서 좀 막 밝게 할 수도 없었고 집중도 또 필요했기 때문에 그래서 끝나고 사실 조금 힘들어서 난 진짜 재밌는 거 해야지 코미디 해야지 막 생각했어요. 저는 제가 좀 재밌는 사람이라고 생각을 했는데 그래서 이제 다음 작품을 같이 준비를 하고 있는 회사에 이제 나 좀 코미디 하겠습니다 했는데 이제 안 된다고 하셨고 그래서 이제 네, 안 되는 걸로 생각하고 어쨌든 비닐하우스에 조금이라도 뭔가 에너지가 있다면 그게 제가 가지고 있는 무기라고 생각을 해서 비슷한 결을 가진 이야기가 또 만들어지지 않을까 생각합니다.
Actually, from the stages from screenwriting to the screen, as you probably maybe be able to see, like the whole energy of the cast and crew and the whole production was a bit downcast just because we also had to put concentrated efforts into the feel of this film. And because of that, I remember, that was somewhat difficult for myself as well. And so I was taking a bit of a break after completing this film. And so I told a producer that I was working with after filming this, I said, I'm going to do a comedy. And so because I think I'm quite a funny person myself. But I told the producer that, and he just said no. So that was the conversation, and I feel like if the energy that this film Greenhouse has, if that is sort of in a particular wheelhouse, perhaps the next films that I do possibly might have a similar vibe and feeling to them.
Wow, exciting. Well, we look forward to that. Thank you so much, Director Lee Sol-hui.